Alright, so I start with my e.l.f. Poreless primer, and generally one pump, maybe a little, yeah, a pump and a little bit does work for my face. And I just apply it all over because of my skin, and then I press it in just to make sure it sinks into my pores. I'm going to try out my e.l.f. moisturizing stick. Now I have pretty oily skin, so I'm not totally sure how well this will work, and I have no clue why I'm trying to show you the writing, because e.l.f. usually has these labels very tiny. This is actually honey, and I'm applying it onto my jawline just to see how well. I mean, it looked too light, and I realized once I blend it in it may work. Plus I have bronzer, so that will help. So you want to just apply this like a regular foundation stick all over your face, and then I would use my beauty sponge to blend it in. And I did put a little too much that I had to eventually take off. I look so funny, right? So I tried to blend it in, and I'm using my LA Girl Pro Concealer, just because I have horrible dark circles right now. And of course I have a review that I need to do on this foundation, so I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but so far I realized it had a lot more coverage than I initially thought it did, and I'm just concealing and concealing away for you guys. As you can see, I blended everything in and it looks pretty good. I have this technique I use now where I just take a tissue and I blot my face so all the excess moisture comes off, especially for moisturizing foundations. I tend to do this, and you're gonna see I mean, my face looks pretty matte, and of course a lot of grease is over there. And then after I blot, I use my setting powder. Here I'm using the Complexion Perfection powder in Cool. I've already hit pan on this, so I just really want to finish it out. It's not the best powder for to mattify the skin, but I was not going out in the sun, so I felt it would work just for the video. But I will try some other mattifying powders with this foundation. So you want to, when you finish, blend it in. I usually use a kabuki brush and just knock off all the excess. Finally, some bronzer, and so I'm using my Stila bronzer as usual, and just lightly going to bronze my face. You're gonna see and I used a fluffy brush instead of an angled brush, just because I know I have to do a bit of warming up on my face, so I thought that this will work pretty good. The fluffy brush would work much better. So you're gonna notice that my hair is pretty much in a mess, but I was able to try to get the color to match. I have my e.l.f. blush quad, and that one is the light, and it's actually the first time I'm gonna use this, and it's like super pigmented. I plan to do swatches and a review on this for you guys. So I'm gonna take like a really nice rose pink color and apply it, and whoa, you can see that just one little swipe worked absolutely amazing, till I had to end up just blending out a bit, but I was really impressed with this blush quad. Alright, so on to the eyes. We're going to use my e.l.f. eyelid primer and my e.l.f. smudge pot, and I must say that my hair looks crazy and my dogs are always barking in the background. I make sure and I blend out my e.l.f. My eyelid primer really well, because I notice sometimes if you miss spots that you could end up with creasing. And I'm using my smudge pot in Cruising Chic. I absolutely love this smudge pot, and I have actually not used the others. I've pretty much been faithful to this one. I love the slight taupey color. It's like, I don't know, it's so perfect and neutral. I have not worn them alone. I have used eyeshadows to set them, and I usually like to just touch a bit on my brow. So I actually pull out some of my MAC pigments and some of my just favorite pigments that I have not used in a long time. I'm wetting my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush because I prefer applying pigments foil. So I just dip into the jar, and once I can have a good amount, I will just press it in. Usually I press it in on the cap, and then I apply to my lids. And you can pat and you can swipe a bit because there shouldn't be any fallouts once the brush is wet. But I love to see pigments foil, especially those that aren't matte. They look so gorgeous foiled. Then I'm just blending the edges of where I place the pigment, because I pretty much just place it all over my lid and leaving a bit of space at the crease. Then I'm going to use Winter Queen as a blending color. This is from Rustic, one of their long-time pigments, and I absolutely love this color. It's like a duochrome, slightly pink, slightly purple. When used dry, it looks one way. When you wet it, it looks another. But I'm applying this dry in the crease, and it actually just gave a nice lift to a neutral color. Alright, so in my crease, I'm using this fake MAC pigment in Patina, and I have not used this, and I've had this for over a year. So I am just gonna pour some in a cup. I'm using this dry to apply in my crease because I really just want a wash of color. But if you foil this pigment, I'm sure it's going to look pretty amazing. So I'm using a really fluffy brush to apply this to my crease, and you would see that there is a bit of fallout just because I was using a fluffy brush and it wasn't wet and all that. So that is the risk you take when you're using pigments. And sorry if I'm like looking away, I was actually following an update they had on the Flight MH370, which I should do a vlog because that is bothering me, how a big plane cannot be found how many weeks later, right? A month later. So anyhow, blend it into my crease. You're gonna see it just gives a little definition, which is what I was going for. And then I'm using it Bare Minerals True Gold pigment on a flat shader brush, and I'm going to use that as a highlighting color very lightly because I find that it's a bit sheer and shimmery, and not necessarily something that's really bold and out there. Alright, so it's eyeliner time, and I'm using my MAC brown border to line my waterline. I really like this. Thank God I do have a backup of this. I like to use a misting set after I apply all my powder products, and I'm using the one from NYX. It's a mattifying spray. Then I have my Sills Boosters XL mascara primer, and then my Rimmel Glam Eyes mascara. I'm also using a Sephora Outrageous Volume mascara. I'm now trying out this mascara, and the one looks rather interesting. Reminds me of another mascara that I have. So I'm just applying it here, and quite frankly, my first impression is one that's favorable. I really like this mascara. Next, I'm using my LA Girl Fine Line pen liner, and it's very fine, and I'm not so much a fan of it, but it worked or did the job. I prefer my e.l.f. And then after I line, I usually use my Benefit They're Real mascara just to separate the lashes, and I also use it on my bottom lash because I find when I line, sometimes my lashes do clump up and I need something to separate it. After I finish applying my mascara, I do go back with under eye concealer. This is the e.l.f. HD Lifting Concealer in, I think this one is the corrective, oh no, this is brightening. And I just use it to help brighten my eyes. Like I said, horrible dark circles, so I kind of doubled up on the concealer. And if you want a review on this concealer, let me know. As you can see, it's quite yellow. So I just apply this under my eyes, and then I'm going to, I always find it looks so funny with concealer underneath eyes, and I'm blending out actually with my fingers first because I know I wanted to warm it up a bit since I don't want it to cake up too much, as against I have layers of foundation and all of that already there. So I did a lot of blending out, and I'm using my e.l.f. HD powder, and this one is corrective, and this is the yellow one. I thought I would have received a lot more product in this jar, but I didn't. What I did is that I actually didn't peel off the sifter sealer. I just used a pin, and I like stuck it in about 6 holes, and so that's going to help it not to be totally messy. And I'm loving my small stipple brush to apply concealer underneath my eyes. I definitely am going to be pulling out. I have like 2 others I'm definitely going to be pulling out because I love it for a number of uses. So that's it for under eyes. Then lips, I'm using Purple Rain from NYX. I love this lip pencil, and I'm going to line and fill because I was going for like a fuchsia lip color, and I know it looks rather silly how I apply my lip liner, but hey, that's how I do it. And after I finish my bottom, I am going to top. Sometimes I outline and then fill in. Yes, this time I just decided to outline one lip at a time and fill in, and then I'm applying my NYX gloss, and this one I can't remember the name of it because I left it in my office, but I absolutely love how this came out, and that there is the final look. Hope you guys enjoyed it.